Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm Christopher and today we are planting fig cuttings and coconuts. So for those of you who have followed me for a while, you might remember that I actually had a fig tree growing in here last year, I think, yeah. But it didn't make it, so I wanted to grow them again, but this time I didn't want to buy a full-grown plant like I had last time, because I'm afraid of pests. So I wanted to grow them from seeds, but it turns out that seed isn't really the way to go with figs. You should get cuttings. And there's just one problem. I couldn't find cuttings in Norway and I was afraid of buying cuttings from all around the world. But I read online because I have a master plan. I'm going to try to grow figs that are really cold hardy in the new greenhouse outside next year. Because I've read online that I could buy something like this, and this is actually known as a Chicago hardy fig. And it's supposed to take temperatures down to about 10 degrees Celsius minus. So we get down to 30 or even more in the wintertime, but I'm actually hoping that the geothermal part of the greenhouse could actually warm the greenhouse enough so it stays above minus 10 degrees Celsius. And that shouldn't be that hard, but hopefully I'm able to do that and I can grow a nice big bush of fig in the greenhouse. That would be just awesome. So I looked up online and I actually found a seller in Brooklyn, New York. So I got them shipped to me and they were sent really fast and they came in the mail. Now it was actually minus degrees when they came in the mail and they came about 4 p.m. in the evening. And I didn't get my mail until the day after, so they were laying in frost temperatures all night. So I'm not sure if they're still viable, but that's something that we just need to take our chance on at this point. There's just a couple of things that I read about this online, so I just wanted to do a little bit of a how-to on what I'm going to do and how I'm planning on planting these, because if you search for growing figs from cuttings on YouTube, for instance, you will get a million different varieties or different ways to go about it. But I'm thinking that in nature things tend to work best in just plain soil and water, so I'm not gonna complicate it too much. People are growing them in or starting them in bags of water, or sometimes they do all crazy kind of things. I'm just going to go with my trustworthy solo cups that are on the 20th generation of planting, I think. I'm just gonna plant them in these. I'm gonna water and I'm gonna try to contain them with this bag on top just to make sure that moisture is kept inside. And I'm gonna place them on my heating mat. I think they should have some light because it will sprout new shoots and new leaves, so they will require lighting. So I'm gonna move my heating mat closer to my growing lights, so they will get partial grow light. But there's just a couple of things that I wanted to touch on these. It's really important that you get the ones that are actually viable, and if they're not alive, then there's really no need to plant them at all. So I just got these a couple of days ago and I just put them in water, and I made sure that I put the lowest part of the branch in water, because it's really important that you get the wrong direction important that you get the correct direction, because if you do it the wrong way, then it's not gonna work. So the roots are gonna come from the lowest part on the branch and the new shoots will start from the top of the branch. So there's a couple of ways to make sure that you get it the correct way, and I think I'm gonna move you in closer. So here is a close-up of one of the cuttings. As you can see, this is really easy to tell which direction it will grow, because you have those shoots are all pointing upwards, and that's the way the branches grow. So it's really simple to see that this is actually the top and this is the bottom. So what I've done is that I have sliced them at an angle at the bottom, just to make sure that I can actually see the difference between the top and the bottom, but also because when you slice them at an angle, it will easier take in water. And one of the most important thing to notice when you're getting these shipped is that you need to figure out that it's actually alive. So the way that you can do that is a couple of ways, but it all leads to the same thing. If you watch the cutting here, you can actually see the green part all the way in the end there, and that's important. If that's a brown spot, then yeah, it's dead and it's no way it can be rooted. Another way to do this is to just take a cutter and just gently slice ever so little. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, it's I can move it all the way in there. Yeah, you can see the green part, and that tells me that this is actually a viable stem. This was sent to me by someone on eBay. It's a great seller because they actually coated the whole thing in wax. So the bottom part came coated in wax, just to make sure that it didn't dry out before I could plant them. So the only thing that I'm planning on doing with this is actually just something as simple as this. I'm going to water. And I'm gonna place a bag on top. This will take, I don't know, I think it's supposed to sprout within a month or so. It should be something viable, but I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna keep my eyes on this. Hopefully it will grow some roots before it starts to leaf out, because if it just leaves out, then you know it's just taking the energy from the stem within and just putting out new leaves. But I'm really hoping that it will produce some good roots before I do something about it. So what I will suggest is, when you do cuttings like this, you use a clear cup, so you will be able to see if it's actually putting out roots before it puts out any leaves. So, but I don't have that, so I'm just gonna go with my gut feeling on this and see how it goes. And at the same time, since I already have you down here, I figured I'll just show you the coconut. I've been wanting to grow coconut for ages, and I just recently figured out how I could do this. So I'm just getting started. So I'm just gonna empty this one out first. Just grab the coconut. No, that's not on the floor. This one has been soaking in warm water, not scalding hot water, but warm water for about 2 days. And as you can see, the eyes up here, this is where it's actually going to sprout. Now it's really important. You might be able to hear it. It's important that this one is not cracked at all, and it contains the water, because the water is actually the part of the coconut that it's actually going to create the sprout from. So it's important to have it at least a couple of days, I would say, in warm water, so it will start the process of germinating. And The only thing that I'm going to do now, again, this is something that I just seen online that people have done, and it looks fairly straightforward. So I'm just putting it in a bag, and I'm placing a little bit of water at the bottom, and it's important that the eyes are pointing up, the three eyes, because one of them is actually the one that is going to produce the shoot. So I'm just gonna keep a little bit of an opening on this because I don't want it to get moldy or something like that. And I'm just gonna place it in a cup like this. And that's as easy as I can make it. I'm gonna check the water level every few days and make sure that it still has moisture at the bottom, because that's what's going to help it start sprouting. And I'm gonna keep an opening on this. This is also something that I'm gonna put on the heating mat. So yeah, nothing fancy to it. This is an exciting project for me because I've never rooted cuttings in the indoor garden before. So we're definitely gonna follow these as we go into the winter. And hopefully we have something that we can plant outside when it comes springtime. And once again, this is the Chicago Hardy. And if we're lucky, within a couple of months, I think, these coconuts will sprout. And it's just a stupid project, but then again, this is where all the stupid projects end up at our house. It's in the indoor grow room and in my office. So yeah, I'm excited about this, because if it's actually sprouting and I can get a coconut palm, then yeah, it's gonna take for ages to grow up. So I'm just gonna use it as a small plant, and it will be so much fun to actually see the coconut lying on the ground, and there's a shoot coming up with nice leaves. So yeah, I'm excited about this, because as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to grow a coconut palm in Norway, and I never actually thought it was possible. So when I started to research this online, it actually turns out that you can actually sprout these coconuts. Now, these ones are from our local store, and they might be 100 years old. So I don't know if these ones will be viable, but I'm sure as heck gonna try it, and hopefully it will turn out nice. So there's just one thing I want to touch on before I leave you. I've been putting in a lot of evening work into see if I can actually create a setup for doing a live show. So hopefully everything turns out okay and the tech is with me. And I will actually try to see if I can make a monthly live show on this channel. And I'm gonna live stream to my YouTube channel and my Facebook channel at the same time. And I will highly encourage people to join in on the conversation as we go along, because I will be monitoring all the chat, and hopefully, now this is a little bit of a secret, but hopefully I can get the tech working so I can actually take your comments or your images. If you post pictures on Instagram or on Twitter or something, then I can actually bring those into the show. So it's a little bit of a teaser for that, but I can't promise anything yet, because the tech is not completely finished. And there is so many things going into running your own live show when you're actually trying to do everything yourself, and you're trying to do it a little bit above something like, say, a Google Hangout live show. Because I want to be able to maybe use two cameras to switch between angles to have a close-up shot of something, or a wide angle. And also I'm looking into doing chats, so I can bring people in on cameras, so we could actually do this as a chat. But then again, I'm open for suggestions. So if there is anything that you can contribute in idea-wise on how I could do a live show. Not the technical part of it, but actually what type of content would be suitable for a live show, or if you have any ideas on the type of conversation that we could have, or what kind of people to bring in. I wanna try to get as many YouTube gardeners as possible joining the show within the year. And yeah, we will just see what this format really looks like. But I'm expecting that something before Christmas will be out. And also, one question: what kind of a time would you think that would be best for a live stream? Because I will definitely schedule these in good time before the show happens. So I will put the show onto my channel with a time for the event, and I will do it at the exactly same time every time that I do it. So I'm thinking to do it like for the Americans that are watching, I'm thinking of doing it something between 12 or 12 a.m. or p.m. Is it called a.m. p.m.? I don't know. Around 1 p.m. So let's put it that way. I'm not into the a.m. p.m. kind of thing. I'm more of the 24-hour day. So yeah. But I'm thinking something around 1 p.m. Something central. I'm not sure. But that's something central in America. So about 1 p.m. And I'm thinking of doing it Saturday or Sunday, because 1 p.m. something central in America is about 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock p.m. my time. So that's the best time for me to do this, because this is only a hobby, and I have to go to work on the weekdays. And also I think that most people will be able to join in on weekends. But I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. If there is any time of the day or on the week that you think are most suitable for doing a live stream, then I'm welcoming the input. So enough of that. My basil is flowering. I'm actually having flowers coming in on the orchid now, and it's just about to open up. I think this one is going to be nice. I think I had flowers on these already, and they are huge, and I think they're white with a little bit of a yellow in. Some of my peppers are flowering. I'm gonna pinch off some flowers because I don't want it to flower yet. But my Praxis cherry, this one is actually putting out flowers everywhere. And it's finally backfilled all the way, so I'm not going to put in more dirt into this, but the plant is actually now, yeah, all the way to the bottom of this pot. So that's exciting. This one, my Aloe humilis, is also flowering. I should do a flower show. That sounds kind of lame, but and also the last one is my Mitoyo eggplant. It's actually flowering. Well, it's at night now, so the flower is closed. But yeah, there's a couple of other flowering also. So there's stuff happening in the garden these days, and I am super excited. So I will do some more shows on whatever is growing here, but I'm gonna leave you with this. And I think I'm trying now to do something every week. So either it's gonna be a Tasty Thursday, or it's gonna be live show, or it's gonna be regular program. But hopefully my regular programs will come up. I'm going to try to post them on my evening time Fridays. And if I'm not able to post something, I'm not able to post anything. But I think at least every 14 days there will be a regular program on this channel. But hopefully I will get into a weekly thing. I'm really hoping for that. And as time goes along, and because I'm using so much time on my setup with the lighting and everything, and that's just because I am fairly new to this. I haven't made that many videos yet, but I actually have quite a bit of followers already. So I am super excited about this growing season indoor, and I'm going to stop talking. This is Christopher saying, may the force be with you. And yeah, you know, I've been sitting like this, and that's just because I have the prickly pear cactus. It's just leaning over. It does that sometimes. I don't know why. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the water cycles, because one day it's just straight up again and the other day it's leaning down, so I have no idea, but it's poking me in the back. So yeah, I'm gonna end now. Take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh my god.